sizing literally means nothing. And that's the case for every clothing brand ever. My job, I was supposed to sew in different size labels, even though they were all the exact same size. So it was just up to me, some random person in a warehouse, to decide what a size medium is. No, a 3X is not actually size inclusive. You can't say that you're inclusive unless you're actually willing to do the work of making things fit for every body. I'm Connally, and I run a small size inclusive clothing brand, which is kind of like saying jumbo shrimp. Like, is it small or is it size inclusive?
So I met Connally in I think it was 2021 or maybe very late 2020.
I make everything in Vancouver, Canada, and we use only natural fibers, so organic linen, cotton, silks, wool, things that are going to naturally biodegrade, but they're also going to allow your body to breathe, not to get too sweaty, and they're going to last in your wardrobe a lot longer. Oh, and everything's machine washable. That's a non-negotiable.
I actually met her through a friend. I met this person at Yolks. I was just having Eggs Benedict alone, as I usually do, and she was like, let me connect you with a friend of mine who actually lives really close to you. I just modeled for her the other day, and I feel like you'd be great for that, especially because like you live so close.
The focus is on clothing that's meant to last and not just be fun for one trend or one season, but pieces that you can mix and match with older styles from your wardrobe or new pieces you might pick up. Just timeless pieces that stand the test of time.
So I was like, yeah, get me in contact. And then like within the week we planned a shoot and we like got to chatting, and I was like, oh, this is a wonderful person and a wonderful company that I like aligns with my values.
So typically when a brand says they're size inclusive, that means they go from maybe an extra small to a large. They might do an extra large. Lots of brands are, what's the word? Glomming on, they're using this word. I do not think it means what they think it means. A lot of people are using the term size inclusive, but what they really mean is we go up to a 2X or a 3X. And when you live in a smaller body, sometimes the measurements that are involved for a 3X might seem inclusively sized to you. But getting feedback from other people, we realize, no, a 3X is not actually size inclusive. And depending on the brand, a 3X in one brand could be an extra large in another, could be a 5X in a different brand. So
I've worked in retail for a few years, and I've come to realize that like I just no longer have any time for fast fashion clothing brands. Like they don't typically cater to people of any size above a large, and it's super exclusive and makes people feel like crap when they're shopping there. And so walking into Connally's kitchen and seeing clothing in all sizes, like infinicizing, was super refreshing to see, and it just made my heart smile. And so it's just, yeah, that's now my main goal, is working with people who actually care about clothing everybody.
So for me, it comes down to actual measurements. So our bodies have a circumference. Basically think of us like a tube. All I care about is finding out how much the measurements are around each of the tubes. And shocker, lots of people are larger than 60 inches around. So for me, doing size inclusive pieces means having a line from extra small to 6X, but also offering custom sizing, because you can't say that you're inclusive unless you're actually willing to do the work of making things fit for every body.
They're comfy, they make me feel good, like elevated casual. Like anytime I put on one of her pieces, I know that I'm going to look polished and good and confident and feel confident. And they never break down. Like I've had some of her clothes for 5 years and they look the same as the day that I got them.
If you think about a simple collared shirt and how if you're going to a job interview or going to school for academic advancement, sometimes you just need a plain collared shirt for those interviews or for shifts at work. And if you can't find that, you're immediately excluded from those opportunities. Or if you can only find that on Amazon or super luxury made to order custom couture, there's this whole middle ground of people that are not being served. So that's what we're here for. The last straw was my last job working for somebody else, which was a clothing distribution company, and I got to see exactly what not to do. This is a company that brought in just skids and boxes full of polyester garbage clothing, and it's the clothing that you see in the little mall shops for, you know, auntie of the groom dresses or cruise wear, but it's all actual garbage. And my job was to take these samples coming in from, in this case, China, measure them, and then arbitrarily decide what measurements they would need to be for it to fit a North American body. So it was just up to me, some random person in a warehouse, to decide what size medium is. And that's the case for every clothing brand ever. Sometimes more thought is put into it. Sometimes none is put into it, like the circumstances. And so I was seeing how damaging that was, both mentally for people to struggle. Hey, I'm normally a medium, why am I a large or an extra large? But so many other corrupt things were happening. For instance, it's cheaper to order 100 of a garment all in one size than it is to order 25 size small, 25 size medium, 25 size large, 25 size extra large. And so my boss would order 100 larges, and he'd order different size tags. And my job, I was supposed to sew in different size labels, even though they were all the exact same size. And so these practices directly impact the way that we feel about ourselves, the way that we feel in our clothing. And I just want to empower others to know that sizing literally means nothing. It's 1 + 1 = purple. It doesn't have any basis in fact, whereas measurements do. And that's part of demystifying the sizing issues, are learning what our body measurements are and understanding that that's just data. It doesn't have any morality. It doesn't matter if we're 80 inches around or 28 inches around. It doesn't matter. They're just numbers.
The world needs this brand because it's for everybody, and it's for especially the people who have felt unseen and not at all catered to in the fast fashion world. I think the nice thing is there's something for everybody of any gender, size, and style, really. There's literally something for everybody here.